is the most famous star at this year's Deauville American Film Festival.
Je suis là pour voir Johnny Depp, parce que je suis très fan. Il a un talent fou, genre il peut tout interpréter.
C'était, je pense, mon premier celebrity crush, si je peux dire.
C'est mon idole depuis que j'ai vraiment 3 ans. Du coup, quand j'ai eu l'occasion, quand il y a eu les billets et tout, j'ai dit bon bah c'est parti.
My favorite movie is Pirates of Caribbean. I'm look like Johnny Depp and I'm look like Jack Sparrow too in my country.
Il a laissé sa trace dans le cinéma. C'est un des plus grands acteurs des 20 dernières années.
I'm never not shocked at the support and the warmth and the love and the reception and the people thanking me for something that I should be thanking them for. This is a way to be able to say thank you to the people who pay all of our salaries.
With Pirates of the Caribbean, Edward Scissorhands, Donnie Brasco, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and dozens more, Johnny Depp was the film star everybody loved. Eloquent, artistic, and cool. In recent years, things have changed a bit. He says Hollywood is boycotting him following his divorce and domestic violence accusations from his ex-wife Amber Heard. But his work is still appreciated, especially here in France. Let's go and meet Johnny Depp and the director Brad Furman, who's directed him in his new movie, City of Lies. So my daughter Swazik did that for you.
I love it. That's so cute, man. It's so sweet.
Johnny Depp, you're one of the guests of honour at this year's Deauville Film Festival. Tell us about your relationship with France.
I think my relationship with France became apparent in my youth when I read a book called A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. And I remember reading that book and thinking, well, that's it. That's what I want. That's the life that I want. You know? When I first went to Europe, '89, I think, was Crybaby. Finished Crybaby, got on a plane and came to France because I wanted to see, you know. And it was the first time I instantly felt home. I guess my relationship got so intense that I came here to do a film with Polanski for 6 months and ended up meeting Vanessa and having children and living here for 10 years. So France will always be my home, you know.
And despite perhaps public opinion in other places, France has always loved you back as well. Why do you think France is different to maybe Hollywood, for example?
Than Hollywood? There's just no comparison. The appreciation for, and I'll use the term cinema, there's a great difference now between what's considered film cinema and movies. Hollywood seems to make movies that are continually, constantly, endlessly, boringly fractured and formulaic stories. Here, anything's possible.
Hey, yo, Biggie! Biggie!
The rap world's biggest star was murdered last night.
My son was shot.
Why?
20 years ago, you were the lead detective on the Biggie Small case, right?
Depp's character is based on the late LAPD detective Russell Poole and his efforts to get to the bottom of the 1997 murder of the rapper Christopher Wallace, also known as the Notorious B.I.G.
A couple brothers get shot, and nobody gives a damn, do they?
The unsolved murder of 2 young men. You have any suspects?
As long as it's an ongoing investigation, some evidence stays locked away in the dark.
And we're here with a film that isn't formulaic, the two. at all, The City of Lies, and it's showing in Deauville. It was filmed a little while ago. Why has it taken so long to come out?
Hollywood. That's really the answer. The politics of Hollywood are a very complicated thing, though based in elementary school retaliatory tactics. I don't think there was any accident that the film was sort of, well, what?
I would say suppressed, for sure.
Suppressed, taken out of our possession.
And is that because of the criticism, do you think, of the LAPD in it?
I think there was a lot of elements, unfortunately. It was the Los Angeles Police Department and, the broader landscape of that. It was the struggle of the two distributors, the struggle of some of the perceptions of things that he's alluding to. I'm proud, very proud to be here and very proud to always stand by Johnny and to share the movie with the world.
When the film was sitting in limbo, the real damage about that is Miss Wallace, Valletta Wallace, Biggie's mom, who's this very wise, beautiful, very philosophical and wise, This mother deserves answers. And this film contains all of everything that leads up, everything that adds up to the answer for her. This film is for her, I believe, hopefully one step closer in getting some relief from what she's had to experience for all these long years. So to hold it and not release it for this reason or that reason, it causes a problem for Miss Wallace. I believe that Miss Wallace deserves to have the truth be known, and she deserves some
justice.
Some justice and some attention for her plight.
And this is an American film festival. I wanted to ask both of you, do you feel patriotic to your country?
Patriotic is a strange word because it can be taken anywhere. It can be taken to a great extreme, which we've seen with, some some half-naked dude with bongos and Viking helmet, entering the Capitol building. That is the newest definition of patriotic. Well, I don't really want to I don't want to go anywhere with that guy or any of those people.
There's a creed, the oath, Russell Poole's creed in the movie that speaks to, sort of blindly being able to serve justice and do your job without looking at race, religion, or a person's creed, just looking at them as human beings. So I think when it comes to your question, and I appreciate this about the inspiration that Johnny's offered and the plight that we took. We're very honored to be here, and we're full of a room of human beings, regardless of where you're from. So I think, that's really what it's about. This is a mother who lost a son. That's something that's human. It's not about patriotism or your country or any of these things. We're just honored to share it with people around the world because we think the story has a gravitas that speaks deeper to not only this mother losing their son, but as we're seeing this tremendous movement with, Black Lives Mattering, and which have always, and Biggie being one of the most influential black figures in the world, and his life being lost due to a systematic oppression and due to corruption within the institutions. These are larger themes that there's no, patriotism doesn't exist when we discuss those type of themes.
And that figure in the closing credits, more than 50% of African-American murders are unsolved. After researching this film, after making this film, what needs to happen to change that figure? In a
police department, especially for example, the Los Angeles Police Department, back when there were the Rodney King tape, inspired people to take to the streets. And taking to the streets You had people who were out there for justice, and justice, when you're impassioned, justice and revenge, they interlock. You could have 90%, 99% good cops, or good or good whatever. There's always going to be some vein of corruption. There's going to be some vein, some vein that makes it through underground that wholly and completely are based on money, with no care whatsoever for the situation, human lives, or anything. It's really all about dough.
That's why this murder in particular isn't solved, and that's applicable across the board. One of the themes we kept constantly seeing, which was very impactful, is different people coming to me and their communities saying that the stories of Christopher Wallace that they're now seeing in the movie are synonymous to stories of all different types of people on the streets. So you see it's pervasive in that nature. So I think probably the only way is to communicate and to attempt to be honest. And in the face of, these things that go on, and hopefully that will slowly create change. But it's probably quite silly to think that, all of a sudden change is going to happen. These things are glacial. Johnny hit the nail on the head. Ultimately, that stuff's about money.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Who shot Biggie Smalls?
It's a riddle.